All right, we're finally loaded up. It's about 4:30 p.m. Worked part of a day today, but I think we're Colorado ready. Got the truck loaded down, so it's time for a long drive, but it's gonna be worth it. So we got the truck loaded. It is April 28th. It's a Wednesday. Just about to pull out of the driveway. Going on a week-long shed hunt to Colorado. We're gonna get there a day early, hopefully around noon, 1 o'clock, and spend that first few days kind of going to the BLM and National Forest land and figuring out where we can park, where we can unload the four-wheeler, what we can walk. Gonna map that out on Onyx, put some waypoints. So we've never been here before. We're going clear to the almost southwest corner of Colorado. So been to Colorado multiple times, never shed hunted. It's just been for vacations, pleasure trips. So this is pleasure trip too. I've dreamed about heading to Colorado and looking for big elk sheds, so I am super pumped. Really looking forward to it. I'm gonna try and film everything. We're staying in an Airbnb, so I'll have Wi-Fi. Might do a little editing while I'm there if I can. I've got 3 or 4 finals while we'll be in Colorado, but everything's online due to the coronavirus, so hopefully as long as I have Wi-Fi, I'll be able to get those done at night when we're done hiking. So super excited. We're packed up, we're loaded. It's gonna be Google Maps says it's gonna take like 18 hours to get to where we're going from Iowa, but we're kind of taking a backcountry route, trying to see some cool stuff on the way up. So we're guessing probably 19 to 20 hour drive, especially with stops. So stick with us. I'll try and film getting gas and everything that goes into this trip, but I'm super excited, and hopefully we get to pick up some sheds and show you guys. So stick with us. It's gonna be a good time. All right, guys, it is 11:50 right now. We are, I think, about halfway through Kansas. Let me check. Russell, Kansas. So we're at a little gas station outside of Russell, Kansas. Drive's been going pretty good. I've been driving since about 4 o'clock. It's almost midnight now. It's Dad's turn to drive. We're trying to make it to a good stopping point and probably sleep for a couple hours and then trek it out the rest of the way. So I didn't film our first fill up, but in the big truck with the four-wheeler and everything, we're averaging about 10 miles per gallon. So gas is going pretty quick, but prices are down, so it's really only costing like $25-30 to fill it. So it's going really good. Hopefully things keep going the way they are, and we'll be in the area that we'll be shed hunting around noon tomorrow. So we'll probably check into our Airbnb and get rested up for the shed opener. So stick with us, and hopefully we can bring you some good content over this week. Guys, it is May 1st, the official shed opener for Colorado. Last night, Dad and I were able to get out, drive around, scout a little bit on some BLM and public lands. So we're kind of just out here learning the area. We've never been out here before. We're out just gonna hit the dirt and hike and see what we find. So we have high hopes. We don't want to go home empty-handed, so we're really excited to get out there and walk. We've got 5 days of hiking to do, so I'm pretty confident we're going to come up with something. We know where we're going right off the bat here this morning, and then it's just going to be kind of a wild goose chase. I want to get off the main roads, try and get to where a lot of people don't go. We're just going to try and find those little pockets that look good. We've been using onX maps all week to map out a few locations, so I have high hopes for this first spot. It looks pretty good. We saw some elk on the backside of this mountain, so hopefully they were wintering on this other side on the BLM. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get into some sheds, and we'll be sure to film the whole thing, so stick with us. All right, Dad and I literally just got out here. It's early morning, sun's coming up. It's getting pretty hot. We parked down on that dirt road. We're up here on this BLM ground, and we each picked a ridge, and we kind of came together, and I just happened to look over and got the first shed of the trip. We haven't been here 30 minutes, and tine's down, muley. We'll see if Dad'll film the pickup. So this is my first muley shed ever. It's an old one, it's chalk. It's starting to crack. Got a few chew marks, but we'll go for the pickup. Good? Yeah. Sweet. It's been here a long time.
He's been there, but
it's really chalky, but that's awesome. First shed of the trip.
That's what we came here for.
Got something to take home. Sweet.
Let's get some more.
There's good sign in here, but a lot of it looks kind of old, so we're gonna hit this for maybe an hour or two, and then if we don't come up with anything else, we'll probably try a new spot, but it's a good start. All right, Dad and I are heading back to the truck. We probably put in 4 or 5 miles up here on this mountain. There's quite a bit of sign, but it's old, so we weren't expecting to find anything fresh. Just hoping to come across maybe some hard whites or some chalks. So all we had is that one muley shed that I found right off the bat, but as I was coming down the mountain, I happened to look over, and there's a deadhead muley laying right in the wide open. I don't know where his carcass or anything is, but we're not 100% sure on what the regulations are with deadheads here in Colorado. So I'm gonna mark him on onX, drop a pin, and probably give the game warden a call and see if we have to get a tag or process to be able to take him home. Well, it's May 2nd today. Dad and I walked all day yesterday, hit some national forest, hit some BLM ground early. That's where I found that nice old muley shed, and then that deadhead. We did get in contact with the Fish and Wild Game, and they said that we were free to pick it up. So we went back later yesterday afternoon, was able to pick him up, so I'm really excited I get to take him home. Like I said, we've never been here before, so we're just kind of out exploring. I'm using onX to find all the BLM and public lands that we can walk and use the four-wheeler and hike. So that's what we're kind of doing today, is we're just out. We're going to try and hit a bunch of different spots today and just try and get on some sign. We were hitting sign yesterday, but a lot of it seemed old, so hopefully today we can get in on some more sign and maybe get in an area where we can find a few pockets of sheds. Finally into some elk country, we think. We drove about 45 minutes from where we're staying, and we've hit a lot of the ground around there, and it's not very big, and it's like really populated by people, so we got clear the heck out of there and got to this really remote section of BLM, and it's like 150,000 plus acres, so there's plenty of ground to cover here. And we just hopped in here 20 minutes ago and we've seen a whole bunch of elk sign already. So we're pretty high right now. We got down to this face and we've been glassing this bottom down here. And we think we have some stuff that looks like horns down on the other side. We just have to find a way to get down there. So I think we're gonna go back to the truck, eat some lunch, and then pack up for a big hike, because it's not gonna be an easy task to get down there. But we're probably gonna sit here and glass for a few more minutes and hopefully get on something that is for sure an elk shed, so we know that we'll come out of there with something. But it looks really good, and we're excited to get down there. So hopefully we'll let you know if it's a shed or a branchler. All right, Dad and I bombed off that mountain, came down into this valley thinking we'd get in them, and boy, did we. Dad just found a mega giant. Perfect condition, fresh, brown, barely, probably still has blood on the base.
But he's got a drop and a deep fork too.
I'd say he's probably 90 inches. I'd pick him up.
Hell, it's a match set. There's two of them here. Look at that brow.
Holy cow. That's gotta be more stuff.
Oh man.
Good job. If we can find those, you think we'd be able to find an elk shed? We got a long ways back to the truck.
They're up there.
So, hopefully we can get out of here. Oh my God.
Begging me to come in.
We literally packed our stuff, headed to a different area. We weren't in the sign. So we packed up, headed a few hours away from where we were, and we're just riding the four-wheeler on some BLM. And holy crap, Dad had a hell of a spot. We haven't been here 10 minutes and have a giant. That is so wicked. And it's white. It's hard white from last year. No one has been down here. Pick him up. Holy cow. That is insane.
Still brown on the back.
Yeah, he is. That is awesome. Show me the burr.
This front's a big flyer.
That is a big front. Holy smokes.
Tank. He's an absolute tank.
That is wicked.
Base on that thing. That's what we came for, buddy. Thank you, Lord.
Yes. Thank you, Lord. Oh, that is awesome. Let's go find some more.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Dad picked up a chalk muley shed right after he found that elk shed. And I'm just walking along and look up and see another little shed. I don't know if that's just a little muley or a whitetail. I don't know. I think it's a muley, but pretty sweet. I'm on the board.
Nice.
There's Dad's shed. So yeah, we're on the board, man.
You know, first
Just
base
walking
check
this.
here.
Yeah, just walking this little draw.
He just has more points and a nicer brow.
I know, it kind of looks whitetailish though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a.
It is a muley, but
it's a muley. The way it comes up so straight.
it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, buddy.
We're just gonna keep hiking, and sun's starting to go down, so we'll probably get out of here pretty soon. But we're gonna have a bright and early morning tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get on some more sheds. Well, Dad had his four-wheeler find. We're just cruising, and I had mine. Oh my gosh, that is a heck of a muley. Absolutely beautiful. He broke off a piece of his mane, but oh my gosh, that is insane. We're gonna get some ATLs and then I'll pick it up. Oh dude, brown.
Fresh
Brown
mule deer.
City.
How many points?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Beauty.
Busted his mane though.
Look at that
He
base.
would've
Look how
had it.
clean white.
He would have had it.
Damn.
Dang nice. He lost a few inches on his mane, but dude, that is crazy. We're in some awesome country right now. Makes it all worth it. 18-hour drive. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
A lot of miles too.
That's
On
awesome.
foot to get here. Let's do some more.
Yeah. Well, it's May 5th. This is me and Dad's last day of shed hunting here in Colorado. Like I said, we switched spots a few days ago. Started staying at a motel instead of an Airbnb. But it's been pretty good. We picked up 6 sheds yesterday. Quite a few old ones. We left some of the really old ones out in the timber, but we're gonna get an early start and shed hunt all day, so hopefully we can get into some more elk sign. Dad picked up 2 raghorns yesterday and a few muleys, and I picked up a couple muleys, so still waiting to get into that fresh elk sign, so hopefully today's the day. Alright, so Dad and I have been after it for a while, and he's in really good elk sign. I'm in a mixture of deer and elk, and I walked this kind of east facing slope. About halfway down I was in pretty good sign, but it just seemed like as I was climbing I was getting into better and better sign, and I just happened to start climbing. I'm actually heading to the other side of this mountain. Just happened to stumble across a deer shed laying right there. Looks like it might be a hard white from last year, but we'll go check it out. It's nothing huge, but hey, shed's a shed. I'm more than happy with it. Oh, sweet. Yeah, just a little forker. Little guy from last year. Hard white, but we'll take it. On the board for the last day. Let's hope we can get into some elk. Well, we're still on this same face. Dad got a lot deeper than I did. I'm not sure why he's not answering his walkie, but I decided to come up past the four-wheeler and hit this slope, and I just glassed up a match set of deer sheds probably 200 yards away on the other side of this little valley here. So I'm gonna pack my stuff, hike on over, and hopefully I can find him once I get over there. Alright, I made it up to where this match set's laying, and they're actually bigger than I thought. I couldn't tell quite how big they were, but looks like he's got a nice deep fork. Heck yeah, that might be my biggest muley. Too bad they're hard white though. Would have been awesome to pick them up when they were brown. Oh sweet, they've been here a while. Yeah, my brown's bigger than these, but gosh, that's cool. Side by side, just like that. They stuck out like a sore thumb, these white ones. Man, that one's got some character. That's really sweet. Awesome. I think I'm just gonna keep hiking north. Dad finally made it back to the four-wheeler, so he's gonna hop on it and go find a spot to glass. But if these are laying out in the wide open, I don't think anyone's been over here. So, and I'm seeing some elk sign also, so hopefully we'll get into some more. I'll get some pictures and then I'll do the pickup. Pick up the smaller size first. Dang, that is wicked. Can't believe that. His right side's freaking way big compared to his left. It's got to be the same deer. He's just heavy on the right. That's sweet though. Still has some color on the back, but he's cracking pretty bad. He's laying right out in the wide open. Just getting scorched by this hot sun, but that is awesome. I wanted to find a match set while we were here, whether it's elk or deer, I don't care. But just finding two right next to each other is just always a rush. So I don't think anyone's been out here for a while, because if someone would have walked this, they would have definitely picked these up, and they've been here for, I'd say, at least 2 years. So just gonna keep hiking and hopefully we get into some more. I still haven't found my elk shed yet, but this makes up for the day we've been having so far. So hopefully there's some more on this ridge. If not, we might go and switch areas, drive down the road a few miles. I'm in pretty decent sign, but it looks old, so maybe we might just be finding chalkers in this area. Match set right next to each other. Oh my gosh.
Look at the two on there.
These things are gigantic. Right off the freaking four-wheeler trail.
We drove right by him once.
We drove, but it's this rise. See, we're coming down now. We were going up. I don't think we would have been able to see him. Look at the mass. Look at the mass on that thing. And the palm. That just made the trip, man. Last day. This wind is insane. They probably won't be able to hear a thing we're saying. Oh my god. Look at those beasts. That is insane. That's a mega giant.
He's going home with us.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Look at that turkey foot.
Yeah,
that tube is just insane. So wicked.
I love it. It's a day. We gotta leave in the morning. We gotta load the truck tonight and head home.
Oh,
we're not done yet.
No, we got a couple more hours.
A couple spots to hit before dark. He's even trying to grow a kicker.
Oh my god, that's gonna be a giant.
He didn't get all his velvet rubbed off. He's still got bloody velvet on there.
That is wicked.
That's an old deer, I think.
I'd say that mass is insane. Show me the bases. Right on the trail. Yeah. Well, it's last day. Dad just picked up that match set off the four-wheeler. We were so amped. I was ready to go home, but we had a few hours of daylight left. Decided to come walk this little piece, not too far from the motel we're staying at, and right up the hill. Got a nice little hard white muley. We'll take it. It's actually pretty decent. It has pretty cool character. So I'm gonna go pick him up, and I think this is number 23 for the trip. We found a lot of old ones that we just left out in the timber and that I didn't really film, but man, it's been awesome. Colorado has treated us really well and couldn't ask for a better trip. I'll definitely be back to get my elk shed though. So, man, it's just been awesome. So blessed, had such a great time. And if you guys haven't done it, get out here and do it. If you just love hiking, if you just love the scenery, man, Colorado is the place to be. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, so Dad and I made it back home to Iowa at about 10:30 p.m. last night. We unloaded the truck and went straight to bed. We were pretty wore out from the trip. But no, overall it was a great trip. We picked up a lot of sheds. We hiked a lot of different areas. Like I said, we moved from our Airbnb to go hit another part of Colorado, and that's where we really started getting into the sheds. This was the first shed we found after the move, Dad's big 5-point elk. He ended up picking up 2 raghorns. I don't think I got those on video, but those are 2 different areas on different hikes, both in the same day. There's my first ever muley shed, and found that on opening day. Pretty stoked about that. We didn't really get into the fresh stuff. We picked up a lot of chalkers. I found this brown muley shed right after we picked up Dad's big 5-point elk shed, and I was pretty stoked about that. That's probably my favorite from the trip. Then I got my match set that I glassed up last day, and then the big boys that Dad picked up last day, not too long after I found my match set. He found these laying side by side about 3 feet apart. They're brown, but they were in the wide open, so they lost a little bit of color. They look a little white, but I love that turkey foot on his 2 right there. But just a big brute of a muley. Still got really cool color. I think we picked up around 26, but we left quite a few out on the mountain just because they were pretty chalked or chewed up, pretty old. So we left them, and even some of the ones we brought home, a lot of guys wouldn't bring home. But it was our first shed hunt trip to, it was my first shed hunting trip to another state. We were supposed to go to Canada this year, but with the coronavirus and everything, the border closed. We couldn't make that trip happen, so I talked Dad into taking me to Colorado, which was super fun. Had a great time. It was definitely worth it. Plans to go back. I still need to pick up my first ever elk shed, so I'm excited about that. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Be watching for some of my upcoming videos. I've got some stuff from this past deer season and my 2020 shed hunting here in Iowa, so be watching for those. Hope you guys liked the video, and be sure to like and subscribe.